Good morning, IHSA Football family. It is time now for Coach Big Pete, a.k.a. Deep Dish Football, Games of the Week, Round 2, IHSA Playoffs 2021. If you don't know who I am, well, I'm sorry. My name is Coach Big Pete, a.k.a. Peter Leinweber of DeepDishFootball.com, publisher of DeepDishFootball.com. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My email is coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And a quick reminder, by the way, Deep Dish Football Live is 6 p.m. every Thursday for playoffs. And later into that night, DuPage Run Shoot with my co-host Patrick Codo as we talk DuPage County football, and we're starting to talk more about all Illinois high school football because there's not that many games in DuPage County. Make sure you check it out. A new episode comes out Thursday. It's a little bit of a video podcast via Zoom. Hopefully you guys like it. Check it out. DuPage Run Shoot. It's on Twitter and Facebook. Make sure you guys check it out. And visit deepdishfootball.com again, please do. And again, if you like my work, feel free to leave a tip/donation via PayPal link, either on this video, or on the bottom of this YouTube video. It's also going to be on Facebook as well. And a reminder, too, Breakfast with Coach Big Pete is now on Sundays at 9 a.m. Sunday, 9 a.m. because playoff games are starting to move to Sunday. The weather is starting to get cold, people. Thank you. As a big man that sweats his ass off, thank you for this cold weather. So, let's get ready. Round 2 as I go down the games of the week on IHSA.org/sports activities, boys football, state series information, yada, 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 the whole shebang. Make sure you visit IHSA.org. Honestly, please visit it. It's got some good stuff. It really does. All right. So, we get into round 2. And again, just a quick observation from what I'm talking about. Next week, I'm not really going to talk about upsets because they're not really upsets. Last week, did we have some chaotic games? Yes, but is it a full-fledged chaos like the regular season has been? Not so much. If we get this second week of calmness, then we can say, you know what? There wasn't that much chaos going on in the playoffs. We've had some upsets, but not that big. And again, it's going to be very interesting because we have some teams with the upsets from last week. The big dog teams now have to travel there through the seeding, because of seeding. And that's going to be very interesting. Normal community's got to go up to Jacobs, which is the Deep Dish Football overtime game of the week. And the Deep Dish Football game of the week is Ottawa Marquette taking on the Fulton Steamers. That's going to be a hell of a game, by the way. So, really excited about that game. All right. So, let's get into Class 1A boys football for the classes. All right. So, we have Iroquois West taking on Abingdon Avon. A very important game for Iroquois West. Abingdon Avon almost lost in round 1. So, just keep an eye out on that game. Prue St. Bede versus Colfax, and Prue St. Bede, they had a tough game against Chicago Hope Academy, but they won. Fulton versus Ottawa Marquette is going to be a hell of a game. That's going to be a really great game. 2 dark horses that I have in this 1A. But what sucks is whoever wins next week has to play Lena Winslow or Forreston. And those 2 teams are good. Fulton beat Forreston, but Forreston beat Lena Winslow in week 9. So we got a revamp of week 9, and Lena Winslow has to visit Forreston. Forreston, I repeat, does not want to see Lena Winslow. Forreston in no way, in no shape or form, wants to see Lena Winslow again. So you probably know who is going to probably be a little bit of the favorite. Again, what's the immortal rule about high school football? You play your conference opponents in the regular season, no problem, or any opponent. You do not want to see that opponent in the playoffs. You just don't, because you most likely will lose that game. And I'm not going to say they're going to lose the game, so don't say, oh, you doubted us. But it's tough. It is really tough. Camp Point Central takes on Central A&M. I think that's going to be a big game with WIVC taking on Central A&M. But I really, really, really honestly like this Camp Point Central team. And Coach Dixon does a wonderful job. Arcola at Brown County, good game as well. I told you Arcola was good. So from most of my bad predictions, I told you Arcola was good. A lot of people are shocked by what Arcola is doing. They're not. It's not shocking. Arcola is a hell of a team. They had some tough times in the first 2 weeks, but they bounced right back and they started kicking ass. Greenfield Northwestern takes on Carrollton. Again, conference opponents seeing each other again. Wow. Not good. And Cesar Valier goes up north to Athens. Good game. Very good game. Again, don't sleep on this Cesar Valier Red Devil team. They're a very good team. Don't sleep on them. Don't sleep. I was very impressed with Cesar Valier, even though they lost to Johnson City. Very impressed with them. Don't sleep on this Cesar Valier team. Let's go to A. We're going to 2A right now. And we got Wilmington taking on Sterling Newman's Central Catholic. Two Illinois small school powerhouses taking on each other. And so Wilmington goes to Sterling Newman Central Catholic. This is a great game. This is a good chance to beat that beast Wilmington. This is a really good shot. But Wilmington is that good this season. They're having a great season. Coach Rince has got those Wildcats playing good football. What's scary is that also when Wilmington wins, they spent their card on going to an away game. So whoever takes on Area Prophetstown Bishop Mack, they gotta if Wilmington wins, they gotta go to Wilmington. Next game, Area Prophetstown at Bishop McNamara. Area Prophetstown really been a great season for Area Prophetstown. Bishop McNamara, they were cold at the ice cold. And they have battled back. They've always been a good team. That first round win was a key win for them. And week 9 win as well. But they're doing good. They're coming together. And it's Coach Ziani's last season. Don't sleep on this Bishop Mac team. Dare Creek takes on Tri-Valley. I like Dare Creek, but I think just Tri-Valley is going to be too much. Tremont and Farmington, you gotta love the Farmington Farmers. Again, a very, very multi-purpose offense taking on a Tremont. And Tremont's defense, they got to shut that offense down. Vandalia versus Decatur. St. Teresa's got a tough task. That's just tough. I'm not gonna lie. That's really that's a very, very tough game right there. Johnson City takes on Breeze Matter Day. Another tough game for Johnson City. Breeze Matter Day is the real deal. But they're very even. It's an even plateau as they face each other. It's going to be an interesting game. Merrill Forsyth takes on Panna. Panna's offense is unbelievable. Merrill Forsyth, they've been hot and cold sometimes, so definitely an interesting game. But I think Merrill Forsyth, they got a whiff of their of their talent that they have on the field. Josh Joseph is, again, one of the best coaches in the state of Illinois. This could be on a little bit of an upset alert right there. Nashville, Bismarck Henning. Bismarck Henning looks great. Nashville looks great. Again, battle of two teams, definitely a big boy battle in the class of 2A. So we go to 3A. And of course, with 3A, we got Lyle Lyons, God, that's tough. That's just too tough. Brian's offensive line, that running attack, that's going to be a pain in the butt to defend. Chicago Clark, hey, big shout out to Chicago Clark football. Hell of a season, won their first round game, and they're going to Reed Custer. That's going to be a tough game for Chicago Clark. Can they get the W? Yes, they can get the W, but it's going to be tough against those Comets. And Elia Cassim in that ground attack. Prairie Central, Princeton, not that much. I think if Princeton comes into that favored Prairie Central, they have had a good run. IC versus DuPage is the huge game because IC has to play DuPage at DuPage, and that's going to be tough. That's going to be very tough for IC to go into NUIC country, going against a very tough DuPage team. So that's a little bit of a wait and see. A little bit, you got to put them up a little bit on an upset alert because DuPage is the real deal. I'm telling you that right now. Paxton Buckley Loda takes on Toledo Unity. Very interested to see how Toledo Unity handles that Paxton Buckley Loda. Paxton Buckley Loda, again, they upsetted a couple teams. So that's another game to check out. Fairfield versus Williamsville. That's a toss-up. That's a very even game right there. We'll see how the Mules handled Williamsville's offense. Seaman at quarterback. Ethan Hines at wide receiver. They've got another wide receiver and another good running back at Williamsville, too. Carlinville takes on Mount Carmel. Mount Carmel looking great. I think Mount Carmel's going to win this game, but we will see what happens. Carlinville, good passing attack for the Carlinville Cavaliers, so we'll see what happens. Monticello takes on the immortal Benton Rangers. The Benton Rangers, everyone. Can Monticello upset the Benton Rangers? Because the Benton Rangers are on fire right now. That offensive line is unbelievable. Keegan Glover at quarterback. The kid's a star. They got a great running back. Good offensive line. Benton is a scary team. I'm telling you that right now. All right, let's go up. And we go to 4A. Yeah, for 4A, we got Wheaton Academy going to Juliet Catholic. Wow, that's a really great prize for Wheaton Academy. Hey, congratulations to Be Close City. You got to go to Juliet Catholic. That's going to be tough. Wheaton St. Francis at Genoa Kingston. Again, a little bit of an upset alert. A lot of people are favoring Wheaton St. Francis, but Genoa Kingston, that offensive line, that's a beast offensive line. So their defensive line's got to play. They got to play their butt off against that offensive line. Stillman Valley, Richmond Vernon. Richmond Vernon is just too tough this season. Chicago Phillips at Q1. Can Chicago Phillips get the upset? Well, not the upset because I think a lot of people actually are seeing that Phillips could win this game. But Bruno at quarterback for the Boilermakers is just tough. Rochester takes on Paris. Paris gets the upset. Who do you think I'm going to go with? Carterville takes on Freeburg. Freeburg, again, great quarterback. Carterville has had a great season, but I think Freeburg's just going to be a little bit too much. Murfreesboro versus Breeze Central. Breeze Central, great season. Murfreesboro, they had a tough game against Benton. That's going to be tough. That's going to be a tough game. No doubt about that. Sacred Heart Griffin takes on Civic Memorial. Congratulations, Civic Memorial, on a big win against Quincy Notre Dame. Who do you got next? Oh, you guys got Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin. Congratulations. Have a fun time. You feel sorry for some of these teams. Not going to lie. You feel really sorry for some of these teams. All right, let's go to 5A. And we go to 5A. And for 5A, we got Glenbard South taking on Sycamore. This is a big game for Glenbard South. This is a proving point for Glenbard South. This is huge. Glenbard South in that Upstate 8 hasn't really had that much of great competition. And the first week against Bulls, I think it was Bulls Prep. Not that really much of a game. This is a big game proving point for them as they go on to Sycamore against the Sycamore Spartans. Definitely huge. St. Patrick at Rochelle. St. Patrick gets the upset. Can they get another big win against a very tough Rochelle team? This Rochelle team has been upsetting a lot of teams, and I know a lot of people favor the St. Patrick team, but I think Rochelle should be favored in this one. But we'll see what happens. But I'm not down the St. Patrick Shamrocks. I think they're having a great season, and we'll see what happens. It's going to be a good game. Fenwick, Boylan Catholic at Boylan Catholic. That's a tough drive. People. Boylan could play the upset. Nazareth Academy at Marmion Academy. Big game in the second round. If Nazareth Academy gets this game, watch out, because then we'll see what happens. Very interesting. Keep an eye out for those Roadrunners. I'm telling you that right now. All right. And then after that, we got Kankakee versus Chicago Morgan Park. Morgan Park goes to Peoria, beats them. Kankakee, again, the real deal team I talk about, Morgan Park. They're warming up. They're getting better. And this is a very young team, so keep an eye out for that one. Marion versus Mascota. And people get angry because I mispronounced the high school. I apologize. That's a toss-up right there. Morden versus Morris at Morris. Morden, they've been getting some good upsets. How do you stop that running game? That's going to be a hard thing for Morris defense. But I think Morris is going to get the better of them. And we got Triad taking on Momahat Seymour. And I think Momahat Seymour, they look good. But I think Triad could, again, this is another big game. Some big games in this 5A. Not going to be some big games next week. But I think this week for the 5A, some good quality games in the 5A. No doubt about that. And we go to 6A. Then we go into the 6A, Cary Grove, taking on Grays Lake Central. That's going to be another interesting game right there. Grays Lake Central's defense, they have to stop that Cary Grove ground attack. Deerfield taking on Crystal Lake Central. Can Deerfield, and people are saying Deerfield's favored. I think you got to favor Crystal Lake Central in this. Can Deerfield get that win? Prairie Ridge takes on Wakanda. This is the big first test for Wakanda. Prairie Ridge is going to be a tough team. Those Wolves, I wouldn't want to play them. Lake Forest at Harlem. Lake Forest looks good, but that Harlem team, Adrian Palos, Coach Moynihan's got that team going good. We'll see. It's going to be an interesting game. Lamont and Springfield, upset alert. Upset alert. Upset alert. Don't sleep on these Senators of Springfield. Lamont's going to make the trip to Springfield High School on a Friday. So keep an eye out for those Springfield Senators. Oaklawn Richards at East St. Louis. That's a tough task for Richards. Crete Moni at St. Ignatius. That's going to be tough for Crete Moni. How do you stop that triple option? Washington at Champaign Centennial. Champaign Centennial got the big upset. Now Washington has to go to Champaign Centennial. Can Champaign Centennial get that second upset? Can they do it? We'll see what happens. They beat Kenwood. We'll see what happens. No, they didn't beat Kenwood. Wait. Oh, all right. I'm confusing myself. I apologize. I forgot who they beat. Yeah, they beat Kenwood. Sorry. Sorry about that, everyone. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yeah, they beat Kenwood. It's too early in the morning, people. It's just too early in the morning. All right. Batavia takes on Mount Carmel. That's the big dog game of the state. In the state, I don't think anyone has even battled that huge battle. Two powers as Batavia has to travel to Chicago to take on the Mount Carmel Caravan again. with the Batavia, it's going to be tough. You're going into a hostile environment, and this is going to be a big game for those Batavia Bulldogs. If they get that win, you got to favor them for the state title. But this is going to be one of their toughest tests. Brother Rice takes on Yorkville. Not that much of a surprise. Very surprised though about Brother Rice's tough game against Wayne Warrenville South. A little bit shocked by that. But Yorkville, we'll see what happens if Yorkville can get that upset against a very tough Brother Rice team. It's going to be tough. Hoffman Estates at Wheaton North. Interesting game. Hoffman Estates looks good. They had a tough week in the first week. No doubt about it, in the first round. We'll see how they handle that Wheaton North team. Moline at Willowbrook. It's going to be another interesting game. Willowbrook's on fire, but Moline is also on fire, and they've been winning. Coach Morrissey's got that team ready. Pekin and Hanahu. I think Hanahu's going to win that one. St. Rita at Geneva. You got to go. You know who's going to get favored. And if I eat crow because of Geneva, I'll be really angry. But I think St. Rita is going to win that game at Geneva. That's my personal feeling. Normal Community at Jacobs. Again, big thing will be Jacobs. How can they stop that normal passing attack, and how can normal stop that running attack of Jacobs? We'll see what happens. Mount Prospect. Prospect takes on Buffalo Grove, seeing them for a second time. And Prospect does not want to see Buffalo Grove for a second time. That's a guarantee. And it should be a great game Saturday. Mount Prospect taking on Buffalo Grove. And we go up even more. And we go into 8A, people. Congratulations to Naperville Central on the win over Naperville North. You guys deserve it. And your biggest prize is you get a home game against Loyola Academy. That's going to be a tough one. Lincoln Way East at Manuka's. Manuka got the big upset win over York. I don't think that was much of a surprise. I think a lot of people had Manuka on the upset alert against York. And Lincoln Way East comes into the Manuka football field. This is going to be a tough game. This is going to be a very, very tough game. Glenbard West at Lockport. That's one of the bigger games in the state of Illinois, people. Very highly even teams. Lockport, they've been playing great. That was week 9 loss or week 8 loss. Week 8 loss to Lincoln Way West East. Lincoln Way East, not a big hit. Didn't help a lot. Warren Township goes to Glenbard North. Another big game. Glenbard North always upsetting some of the good teams. Can Warren Township go to Glenbard North and get that win? Or will Glenbard North get that big win against those Warren Township Blue Devils and that tough defense? South Elgin at Chicago Marist. Are you guys going to make me eat crow against South Elgin? You guys take on a tough Marist team. Be very interesting. Glenbrook South taking on Hinsdale Central. That's another toss-up game. Very strong toss-up game. Glenbrook South defense, unbelievable. Hinsdale Central playing unbelievable football right now. It's going to be a big game. Nequa Valley takes on Palatine at Palatine. I got to go with Nequa Valley on that one. I think Nequa Valley is going to win that game. And Plainfield North at Maine South. And you know pretty much it's going to be tough. It's a tough one for Plainfield North. They've had a great season. So we'll see what happens. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My email is coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. And again, if you like my work, feel free to leave a tip/donation via PayPal link below or in the video. Deep Dish Football Live Thursday at 6 p.m. DuPage Run and Shoot. Make sure you follow DuPage Run Shoot on Twitter and Facebook as well. Follow me on Instagram. Again, if you have any questions, my email is coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. Breakfast with Coach Big Pete during the playoffs is Sunday at 9 a.m. We can't wait to see everyone on Sunday at 9 a.m. on the Facebook page of Coach Big Pete. And for Deep Dish Football Live, it is on the Deep Dish Football Facebook page as well. Make sure you guys check it out and visit deepdishfootball.com. So, let's get ready for some round 2 football, everyone. Let's have a fun time.